The world is filled with tales of haunted houses, restless spirits, and unspeakable evil lurking in the shadows. But few stories grip the imagination and terrorize the mind quite like the true horror story of the Smurl family haunting, a case so disturbing that it inspired books, movies, and countless sleepless nights. And what makes it even more terrifying is that it was all based on real-life events that unfolded in West Pittston, Pennsylvania during the late 1970s and 1980s, when an ordinary American family suddenly found themselves trapped in an extraordinary nightmare that blurred the line between the living and the dead, a nightmare that would escalate into one of the most infamous hauntings in modern history. Jack and Janet Smurl, a hard-working couple with young children, thought they had found their dream home in 1973 when they moved into a modest duplex at 328 Chase Street. But little did they know that behind the walls of that seemingly ordinary home lurked a darkness that had been festering for decades, waiting for fresh souls to torment. And it began subtly, with strange noises echoing through the halls, unexplained cold spots in rooms that should have been warm, foul odors that would suddenly choke the air without reason, and shadows that danced in corners even when the lights were on. But within months the activity grew. Violent scratches appeared on the walls, deep claw marks that no human hand could make. Strange growls reverberated through the house at night, and furniture moved on its own, terrifying the children who cried themselves to sleep while their parents clutched rosaries and prayed for protection. But prayer seemed to anger whatever dark force had attached itself to them, because soon the Smurls began to witness apparitions, a faceless black mass that drifted from room to room, an old woman who whispered in guttural tones, and a pig-like beast with red eyes that stared at them from the shadows of the basement. And as if that wasn't horrifying enough, the entity became physically violent, attacking Jack with scratches, slapping Janet across the face, and even sexually assaulting both of them in the dead of night, an abomination so vile that it left the couple traumatized and desperate, seeking help from priests, psychologists, and paranormal investigators. When no one could provide relief, the Smurls finally turned to famed demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren, the couple best known for investigating the Amityville horror. And when the Warrens stepped into the house, they confirmed the family's worst fears, that this was not just a restless spirit but a powerful demonic entity that fed on fear, torment, and despair, an inhuman presence that refused to leave, laughing at holy water and prayers, mocking the rituals meant to cleanse the home. And Ed Warren himself claimed to have witnessed a dark, shadowy figure rise from the floorboards, while Lorraine felt an overwhelming sense of evil suffocating her, a psychic assault that nearly crushed her to the ground. The Warrens warned that this entity was ancient, cunning, and dangerous, capable of deception and violence beyond human understanding. And even after multiple exorcisms sanctioned by the Catholic Church, the Smurls reported that the activity continued, strange voices calling their names, mirrors shattering spontaneously, family members levitating in their sleep, and neighbors overhearing horrifying screams at all hours of the night, screams that seemed to come from the walls themselves. And while skeptics tried to dismiss the story as mass hysteria, delusion, or a bid for attention, the sheer consistency of the Smurls' testimony, combined with reports from visitors and priests, gave the haunting a chilling credibility that continues to resonate today. By 1989, after nearly a decade of unrelenting torment, the Smurls finally abandoned the house, leaving behind not just their possessions but also a piece of their sanity. And what's most unsettling is that the dark presence did not entirely vanish, because according to some reports it followed them, manifesting in subtle ways in their new home, as if to remind them that escape was impossible, because once something like this has its claws in you, it never fully lets go. And that's the true horror of the Smurl family haunting. It wasn't just a haunted house. It was a haunted life, a true story of innocent people trapped in a nightmare they couldn't wake up from. A story so disturbing that it continues to be retold in documentaries, horror novels, and the 1991 film The Haunted, which tried to capture the relentless terror the family endured. But no dramatization could ever fully express the raw fear of living in a home where evil itself had taken residence, where every creak of the floorboards could mean an attack, where every shadow could conceal a monster, and where even your prayers became fuel for the very thing that wanted to destroy you. Today, paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics alike still debate the Smurl haunting, some calling it one of the most convincing true cases of demonic activity ever documented, others dismissing it as exaggerated or fabricated. But the undeniable fact is that the Smurls believed every horrifying moment they lived through, and their torment serves as a grim reminder that sometimes the scariest horror stories aren't the ones we watch in theaters, but the ones that truly happen to ordinary families in ordinary towns. And the Smurl family's true story stands as a chilling testament to the idea that evil is real, that the unknown is closer than we think, and that behind the thin veil of normal life there may be horrors waiting that no one can ever fully understand or escape. Which is why the real haunting of the Smurl family remains one of the most terrifying true horror stories ever told, an unsettling journey into darkness that still echoes today with the chilling question: if it happened to them, could it happen to you?